Hey folks, you're OS and VTXReviews.com. You're watching our video price fight comparison between the Samsung Series 7 Slate PC and the ExoPC. Both Windows tablets originally ran on Windows 7 Home Premium, but have been updated to Windows 8 to give you the best sense of which device is still the best in today's standards. Originally, the Samsung Series 7 has a Intel Core i5 chipset, 4GB of RAM, and 160GB of solid-state memory, whereas the ExoPC has a Intel Atom processor, 2GB of RAM, and 64GB of solid-state memory. As a result, if you are looking for more storage capacity, a better CPU performance in terms of gaming, and more extensive applications, right out of the box, you can see that the Samsung model will be the better take just because of the internals used. Powering both products on, you can see how the screen on the ExoPC down below here, viewing angles are not as impressive as on Samsung's counterpart, which offers 178-degree viewing angles, which is really great for viewing content, videos, browsing the web, and reading ebooks. On the contrary, on the ExoPC, if you take the tablet to extreme angles, you will be unable to see most of what is happening on screen just because the device is really dark and the screen is definitely not as bright as on Samsung's 400 nits of brightness on the LCD display. In terms of touch sensitivity, both devices are about even. If we take this up, on both devices, you can see that in terms of the menu navigation, they're about the same. In terms of ports on both tablets, the ExoPC offers two dedicated USB 2.0 ports and a full SD card reader on the left-hand side of the unit. On the contrary, on the Samsung Series 7 Slate tablet PC, we have only one USB 2.0 port. This means that if you are someone who likes to use a lot of accessories like keyboards, mouses, and docks, the Samsung one offers not as much ports as the ExoPC. However, the Samsung model does offer a dedicated volume rocker. Something also to note is both devices are slightly targeted at different audiences. With a dedicated volume rocker, the Samsung model is really great for watching videos and watching movies and controlling the volume directly on the unit without having to go into the settings to navigate and change the music volumes. Whereas on the ExoPC doesn't have an external volume rocker, but it has more USB ports, which means that it's better for developers and people looking for more customized, I guess, to navigating and changing the specs of PCs, those who like to play around, again, with their computers a little bit more than something out of the box, like the Samsung model here. Both products offer 11.6-inch LCD displays that support multi-touch capabilities, but on the ExoPC, only 2 fingers are supported for the touch, whereas on the Samsung model, we have 5 to 10 finger support. As a result, the Samsung model is better for graphic artists, for doodling, the screen is a little bit more responsive, and it also supports a Wacom pen, so you can actually draw with pressure sensitivity, whereas on the ExoPC, it's basically simple tap and touch without any more fancy gestures that you can really use. Otherwise, the fit and finish of both are pretty much the same. Both offer a pretty premium feel in the hand. Both devices offer a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera. The ExoPC has a soft touch material on the back, which makes it very easy to grip and hold, and gives it a pretty durable feel in the hand, but it lacks a back-facing camera that the Samsung has. On the contrary, Samsung's model has a plastic back, which isn't as elegant feeling, but it still feels pretty solidly built, and also has a 3 megapixel back-facing camera, which is pretty good for those of you who like to take photography on the go. You will see that the Samsung device has a little more of a responsive accelerometer, whereas on the ExoPC, it takes a lot longer to change page orientations, and it just takes a little bit longer again to get some of those applications done because it uses an Intel Atom CPU. Otherwise, both devices are pretty responsive in terms of menu navigation. We have the Metro UI on both systems running smoothly and rather impressively. Keyboards on both units also perform about the same. They have a nice widescreen layout that you can type on, and the support of multi-touch allows you to actually use both keyboards very fast, and also you can use different modes for the keyboards as well, from split keyboards to handwriting recognition and the such. You can see that there are a bit of hang-up on the ExoPC because the CPU is not as fast, and occasionally the device will kind of lag around and not perform as fast as you might want it to be. For instance, right now, whereas on the Samsung product, things are a lot more instantaneous in terms of the applications happening and occurring on screen. Again, typing experience about even, I would say, because both products offer multi-touch and are pretty impressive in that department. In terms of multitasking, both products offer that support, and both are pretty fast at that. You can open up 2 separate different windows or 2 separate different applications and multitask in that manner. On the ExoPC, you can do the same thing, and you're able to toggle back and forth between applications. You can also, of course, add in a different application to the side of the device, so you can multitask by having two applications run at the same time. This is a pretty impressive facet that both products do pretty well. Again, you don't have any 5-finger support, but 2-finger support is supported, but there is a lot more lag. So if we wanted to zoom in and out, you can see how it takes a lot longer for the device to actually recognize that, as opposed to on the Samsung device, which tends to be a little bit more responsive. To measure that a little bit more accurately, we're going to use Paint as an application to show you how many fingers are supported. So if we wanted to go there, we can go ahead and paint that up and try and search up Paint. There we go. Applications, open up Paint, and we can see that both of those are now opened up. Again, we have 2-finger support on this, but we don't have any more than 2 fingers. The device also works pretty well with a capacitive stylus. On the Samsung model, this is 2 fingers, and then we can also, of course, use 3 fingers if we wanted to go and do that, or even 5 fingers. So it has a lot more support in terms of recognizing more fingers, and the touchscreen being a little bit more responsive in general to use a little bit better in terms of that experience. So if we wanted to close out on both applications, we can go ahead and do that. Taking a look at the web browsing experience in the native Internet Explorer browser, I will say that better performance has to go to the Samsung Slate because it's a lot faster to load, and you can see how things are a little bit more responsive. Pinch to zoom is also a lot more instantaneous. Whereas on the ExoPC, for some reason, everything is super zoomed in, and we can zoom out if we wanted to, but it's a lot less tedious, a lot more tedious, and sometimes the product just does not want to respond, and it's kind of a hit and miss depending on the web page that you're in. Pages do load, and it loads pretty impressively, but we just are not sure why the product is kind of zoomed in. It's a little bit odd, so that's something to take note of. Also, watching YouTube videos on the ExoPC down below here is a little more tedious. If we want to go to YouTube, for instance, and wanted to go ahead and load that up, the actual web page will load just fine, but the thing to note is that videos themselves actually take a lot longer to load. We're not exactly sure why, but Flash does not seem to be officially supported out of the box on this product. And we can kind of see that because after you click on something, it takes a lot longer for the product to officially register your touch and start playing your video. You can see how ads are immediately playing on here, but video will actually not be fully played on this product down below here, the ExoPC. So, for example, if we have a quick look at this drone video, and we tapped on that, down below here, we can search up the same video and tap on that. And we can see how it says Adobe Flash Player is not officially supported, so the video will actually not officially load on the built-in Internet Explorer one. It's a little bit more clunky, sometimes it definitely lags a little bit more, it's not as responsive, whereas on the Samsung one, it's already starting to play. The Samsung device also offers the ability to have a stereo sound, so it offers better performance in terms of the ability to play back music, which offers better quality in general. In terms of battery life, the ExoPC offers about 3 hours, with the Samsung offering about 4 hours, so battery life is also slightly better on the Samsung model. I think that when it comes down to it, both devices are very, very capable Windows products, especially considering that both devices originally ran on Windows 7, which is pretty impressive to see them run Windows 8 so nicely. The weights and the feels of both products are about the same, but the street prices for the two differ slightly. The ExoPC can run about $200, whereas the Samsung model will run at a street price of $240. But at that $40 difference, you are getting something that's a lot faster, a lot more responsive, has better playback support for YouTube videos, Hulu videos, browsing the web, and a better display in general. For that reason, we have to say that Samsung wins this price fight, and we would give the edge to that. But the ExoPC is not bad at all if you are a developer, or if you want a very entry-level tablet running on Windows 8, and you don't expect very powerful performance right out the box. Again, this has been a price fight video between the Samsung Series 7 Slate PC and the ExoPC. Both devices, again, pretty lucid, responsive, nicely performed for devices that did not originally run on Windows 8, but can be upgraded to it, and you can see how both devices pretty much handle it beautifully. Thanks for watching this video price fight between the two tablets here at OS, VTXreviews.com, and also our brother site at OS Tech News.